Hi folks, good to be with you. Love to everybody out there, and God bless you. My website's jasonburnspreacher.com. You can get me on Twitter, just type in Jason Burns Preacher. Twitter, you get loads of apologetic material, and then you can get me on Facebook. And there you'll get Bible studies for those who want to be pastors and leaders from great Reformed preachers like Sinclair Ferguson, etc. In this video I want to talk about the Koran has been changed. Now, one of the things that Muslims do around the world, and constantly doing, is straight away they'll attack the Bible, say the Bible's changed. And the thing is, we have thousands of manuscripts to show that the Bible that we have today is what was in the original. But what the Muslims will not do is they will not face the evidence that proves that the Quran has changed. They won't face that evidence. DCI have gone round an apologetics group. They've tried to answer the Muslim apologist on this issue, and Muslim apologists like Mansour and others have run away. Bob the Builder's challenged them, and recently I've challenged them for about a year. And we've challenged them on the fact that there are different Qurans in Arabic, different ancient Qurans and different Qurans today in Arabic. But the Muslim Dawah teams will not debate us, they will not face this. They say they've rebutted us and they've debunked us, but what they're not telling you is that there's a number of us who are doing constant original research. I know that Hatum, I know that others, and I am, doing original research. So we're not just going to, well, I'm not going to just Western scholars, I'm going to Muslim scholars and doing original research, and I'm finding that the Qurans that we have today are not the Quran, is not the Quran that was passed on over the centuries. In fact, over the centuries, the Quran has changed. So I'll give you an example, the Sinai manuscript. If you look at the Sinai manuscript, it's got many verses missing than what we have the Quran today. The Sinai manuscript is one of the oldest Qurans that they have. There's a Palmist Sinai manuscript where it's got two written transcriptions on the page. In an ultraviolet light, you can look underneath it and you can find that the words are not the same. The Quran underneath is not the same as the Quran above. It's been changed and doctored to suit political vying factions, meanderings and doctrine of the text. And I've found tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of material that actually Muslim scholars have found from Muslim scholars. And I want to discuss this with the Dawah teams, and they don't want to discuss it. They say they've rebutted it, but they haven't rebutted it because the material that I'm bringing down is constant new material. I'm bringing constant new research all the time. So they haven't rebutted it because they've not heard it yet. They've not heard me say whatever I've got to say. So they're not dealing with the issues. They're running away from the issues. So I've just given you one example of the Sinai manuscript. I could go on to the top copy manuscript. I can go many other manuscripts, but that's just one example. And what we find is when we look at the ancient manuscripts that we have, that are textual variants, there are thousands of verses that are missing or have been changed throughout these ancient manuscripts. And the Muslims are failing to do textual criticism and face up to the challenge that's being presented to them, and they're just completely lying to you and telling you lies, both at Hyde Park and Speaker's Corner. If they're not telling lies, why will they not debate me? Why will they not debate Hatum? Why will they not debate Bob the Builder on these issues? Why? Why is it we have them on camera, all of them running away from this topic? Every time I go down to Hyde Park for the last year, I've researched this and I've prepared, and not one Muslim apologist has been willing to debate me on the topic. They know I go down and research, they know I go and prepare, and I go down and prepare, and they want to debate me on the resurrection, or they want to debate me on is Muhammad violent. they want to debate things where sometimes, like some weeks when I go down, they know I'm prepared on this topic and they won't debate it. So the absolute manuscript evidence and the hadith information that I've unearthed, it's incredible scholarship, incredible material, building on Muslim scholars as well, and they will not engage, they will not debate, they will not debate. I'm not going to challenge them to debate because they're so dishonest. They call us liars, they call us names, they're abusive, they do ad hominem, they're aggressive, they butt in, they interrupt you when you're trying to talk to them in a civilized way. I debated Adam Rashid, one of their top historians. He was rude, he was butting in, he was not really nice to me, and I was really nice to him, I was really fair to him. And he's well known debater on manuscripts, and when he challenged people to debate him on Islam or Christianity violent, I mentioned to him, I'm not prepared for this, but I'm prepared for debating on the Sana manuscript, and he just would not take up that opportunity. I chased an apologist around the park, Hyde Park, Hashim, and he would not debate on the Sana manuscript. And Mansour has walked away from the DCI team, would not debate on the Sana manuscript, and they keep going on, we don't know Arabic. Well, next time I come down in July, I'll know Arabic, I'll have a working knowledge of Arabic, so you can't use that as an excuse. I'll be down in mid-July, and I'll be able to read Arabic, and I'll have a working knowledge of Arabic by mid-July, alright? So I'm going to be studying Arabic, and I'm going to be able to read the ancient manuscripts in Arabic come July, mid-July, okay? So they can't use that as an excuse. I'm not going to get involved in challenging them and ad hominem attacks upon them. But you need to know, as Muslim youth, that your dawah teams are running away from these debates, and they're not being honest, and they're not willing to engage in proper formal academic debates where we can get to the real scholarship. If they want to, I'm coming down in mid-July, and if Adam Rashid or Mansour wants to debate me on has the Bible or the Koran changed, I'm willing to debate them. You can get in touch with me or Suku and arrange for a formal debate. But I'll be learning Arabic, and I'll be continuing my research on the issue of the manuscripts, early manuscripts of the Quran. But you need to know, as Muslim youth, you need to know, as the British people, you need to know around the world today that the dawah teams at Hyde Park are totally running from this debate, and they're totally scared of it, and they're not willing to face the challenge. And rather than face formal academic debates on this topic, they just ignore us and make pop videos about us, or they allow people with soccer accounts to go around saying nasty things about people, rather than say, you know what, Jason wants to challenge us on this topic, let's have a formal debate, 2 hours, let's go through it in depth, and let's just answer his questions, and let's debate it. But they're just not willing to do that, not with me, not with Bob the Builder, not with Daniel, not with Godwin, not with Hatum, not with Lizzie. They're just not willing to do it, not with Mike, my brother Mike, they're not willing to do it. So, you know, be very, very wary of these dawah teams, because they're dishonest, and you need to be careful. They're the ones that edit the videos, they're the ones that go around bullying people, and they're the ones that don't want to do proper academic study and face real academic challenges to their worldview. God bless you. Remember that, Muslim youth. Remember, when you see my face, remember you're seeing scholarship. When you see the dawah team's face, you're seeing Al Capone apologetics, just bullying people. God bless you.